Hello everyone, and welcome to Linux Forensics here at Pen Tester Academy. In this video, we're going to show you how you can find things that are out of place. It's been a long journey so far. I think this is around video 50 in this series. We've done a lot of theoretical stuff recently, looking at the big picture of how disks are laid out, and today I'm going to show you how you can get some of the fruits of that knowledge, how you can apply your understanding of how things should be in order to find out if things are kind of out of place. So let's get started. I'm going to start by mounting my image. So I will use my mount image pi, and my image is going to be media, Phil, Toshiba, disk images 2015 39 IMG. Go ahead and mount that. And you can see it brought up this guy. If I do a quick check with mount, I will see that yes, in fact, this was mounted as read-only, which is important, of course. So I'll go on over to where this was mounted. And let's start with the most important things. So if I'm going to break into your system, compromise your system, and do something bad, I will probably try to alter things in the bin directory and the sbin directory. There are other places that things might get modified, but this is a good first place to look. So in order to see if things have been changed, I can very easily look at what inodes were used for certain files. Now remember, the inode is the collector of the metadata. It has everything about the file except its name. We'll talk about how that's stored exactly in a future video. But for now, we know that the inode is sort of the king, and it's one of the most important pieces in this whole picture. So if I do an ls on my bin directory, and if I just do the normal ls, it will give me kind of standard information. And of course, you probably are familiar with the A flag to show everything. So I will go ahead and say A, please show me hidden files, L for a long listing. And this might be a new flag for you. It's the I flag for please show me the inodes. So I can say ls-ali, if that helps you remember it, for bin. And I also want to sort it by the inode number. So I will pipe this to sort-n for numeric sorting. And I will get something kind of like this. Now in this case, I don't see a bunch of non-sequential inodes until I get here. And check this out. So I have a bunch of sequential inodes, which makes sense. When the operating system was installed and all of this was laid down, it was just file after file after file. And suddenly, what do I find here but a big jump? I go from 549 to 7,076. So that's a huge jump, and that indicates that these were added much later. Now in this case, we didn't have a very sophisticated attacker. This attacker did not change these timestamps, which is very easy to do. There are different tools out there to backdate the files so they don't look out of place. Of course, these also have some suspicious names. So that's another clue there. I mean, they could have done certain things to hide this a little bit better, but they didn't. Let me do the same thing on my sbin directory. And here I see that there's nothing strange. It's all sequential, even to the very bottom. So I feel better about that. All right, another quick thing that you can do. You can also do an ls and sort your files by size. So I can do an ls dash ali, and I'm also going to add a capital R for recursive in case there's any subdirectories. Dash dash sort equals size, and I'll run this on bin. And to make my life easy, I'm going to pipe this to more. All right, so what do we notice? Here's what we notice. I have BusyBox, which is pretty large, and then I have Bash, which is also kind of large-ish. And what comes next? Well, this is very suspicious. I have false, which the only job of false is to just return false. And yet, this program is very large and is in fact the exact same size as Bash and has a date that it was modified around the time of this compromise. So again, this user was not extremely sophisticated and he didn't change the timestamps. But even if he had, we would have found him out because of this thing. Now, if I continue, you'll see there is a function called true that is very similar to false. And the function called true is going to be much smaller. Once again, I do see references to my reverse shell. Somewhere in here is my true function. I just missed it. So I'm going to just do this. So that is much smaller, 27K instead of over 102. So that's another simple thing that you can do. And of course, you want to do the same thing on sbin. So I will run my ls-ali-r, and I will sort on size for sbin, also pipe that to more. And I see biggest thing there, WPA supplicant, DH client, and nothing else looks terribly out of place in terms of the size for different items. I can also sort by time. You know, we already created a timeline in some earlier videos, but if you wanted to sort by time, you can do the ls command where the sort is not size, but the sort equals time. And that will show you the most recent items. And you can see that, at least according to the timestamps, there's nothing terribly recent in sbin. And if I do the same thing for bin, boom, right away, since he didn't modify the timestamps, I can see that these were changed. Well, that's all for this video. As always, if you're enjoying these videos here at Pen Tester Academy, please tell a friend. We'll see you soon.